Hello, and welcome to the first video in the summer training for Infernobot. My name is Anton Boniski, and special guest Raj is here. Raj, say hi.
Hi, my name is Raj Bedkar.
Yep. And this is going to be just like a brief intro to FIRST and FTC. Before we do that, I want to introduce. Oh, there's the agenda. Yep. I want to introduce myself, and I also want to introduce Raj. So I am Anton Boniski, and I'm the design lead of the FRC team in our Fremont High Robotics organization, 3501. I am a senior, and this is my fourth year on the team and second year as design lead. And Raj?
Hello, my name is Raj. I'm an infernobot. This is my second year leading the team. I'm also a senior, my fourth year on the team.
Yep.
I've been there in infernobots for 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So safe to say that we both have a pretty good amount of experience in robotics. All right. So FIRST stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, and it is quite literally an organization, nonprofit organization that exposes kids ranging from elementary school all the way to high school to robotics. It consists of three main kind of sub organizations. There's FLL, First Lego League, FTC, First Tech Challenge, which is what you'll be doing, and FRC, or First Robotics Competitions, which is what I'm doing. We'll get into the difference later on. Um, so there is a general each. Oh, I'm so good at this. Each sub organization differs in complexity and size. So FLL, as you could tell from the title, it is based off of Legos and Lego motors. I haven't done a lot of Lego League. Raj, I think you did, right?
No, I haven't done
All right,
FLL.
but from what I heard, it's a generally small field, just like a table, and just using Lego components. FTC is what I did and Raj is currently doing. It is a larger field. There are sadly no Legos involved. Is that sadly or unfortunately? I don't know. Um, but no Legos involved. You actually use metal parts. You can 3D custom parts. You can actually even use CNCs to create like generally mid-size robots. I would say 18 by 18 inches. Raj, if you have anything else to add on.
Yeah, it's generally like a middle size field. It's pretty big compared to like FLL, but smaller than FRC, like as you've seen. Yeah, Anton described it pretty well, where it's generally smaller robots, but the subsystems are pretty complex, and you do get a lot of the feel for complex robots through it.
Yep. And then next and kind of the last level you could call it in first is FRC, First Robotics Challenge. This is where people actually make huge robots. They can be like 30 by 30 inches in width and length and like almost 4 feet tall, extending all the way to like 6 feet, maybe even 7 feet. They use a lot more powerful motors than FTC and FLL do. And overall, it's just a bigger robots, bigger fields, more powerful things, etc. Now, just because FRC is like sounds more powerful and like more complex than FTC and FLL does not mean that FRC is like quote unquote the best. A lot of people prefer FTC over FRC, and FTC has its perks over FRC. FRC has its perks over FTC. It's just whichever one you prefer, right? So just to get that out of the way. All right. So you will be part of FTC. All right, we'll get to that slide later. First Tech Challenge, I've already said many times. It is a worldwide challenge that is released every single year where thousands of teams compete to create a robot that can do a series of tasks the best. So as you can see in this game, Raj, do you know what year this is from?
This is actually a very old one, so I'm actually not familiar with this.
Mm.
I think one of our mentors, Chloe, is actually familiar with this game. So it is definitely not recent.
Yeah, and I definitely did not just search up FTC on Google and put in a random image in, but we can talk about that. Um, so the tasks that your team needs to complete is introduced through something called a kickoff, which is where first releases a video that basically acts as a trailer for the set of tasks, and the set of tasks is called the game. I'm just gonna refer to it like the game from now on. And first for FTC, FLL, and FRC releases a new game every single year. So if you make one robot, you can't just keep on using that same robot every single year. You actually have to make a new robot, design it from scratch. There's going to be new limits, new height limits, new extension limits. So you're going to have to change your design constraints quite a lot from year to year. Um, Raj, anything else to add on there?
No, I think you described it pretty well, like how the challenge works. I guess it's similar to a sports season, except like the fact that the game changes every year. So you have your training and then your preparation and matches.
Yeah. And then in every single game, there's like multiple different tasks that a robot can do, and each task rewards points. Generally, the more complex tasks reward more points. Um, but there's also strategy involved in which tasks you want to do. You're going to be doing that a lot with Raj. Um, I know that based on what I've seen in the last season, but you will definitely
Yeah.
get more practice with it later on, Raj.
Yeah, I can speak about this. Actually, this year's challenge, Into the Deep, had two main methods of scoring. I won't go into the specifics, but what you would see at competitions, especially the high level ones, you would have one robot focused on one main method and then the other focused on the other method. And that would basically just maximize your output.
Yeah. And that's also very common in FRC where the tasks are actually split among the robots on the team. While we're actually talking about it, Raj, how many robots are on each team in FTC?
So, the way that an FTC game works is that it's a team-based thing. So you'll have two teams playing against each other, and each team will have two robots in it.
Yeah. And then those two robots work against another two robots, the opposing alliance, and they try to score the most points. The team, well, they're called alliance. The alliance with the most points wins. Um,
Yeah.
my phone is ringing. I'm gonna say, can I call you later? All right, there you go. All right. Anything else to cover in FTC, Raj, or we got most of it there?
I think we got most of it. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, moving on. Um, so yes, we already talked about this kickoff in games. Also, on every single kickoff, there's going to be something called a game manual that first will release. This is kind of like the rule book for every single game. Um, Raj, when I was there, there was game manual 0 and game manual 1. Has that changed? I've heard rumors of that, or no?
So Game Manual Zero is like this resource actually made that it's not specific to any game. It just contains resources for FTC teams. Game Manual One is actually the game manual made by First for the game specifically, and this gives you information like more in depth about like rules, regulations, and sizing and things like that. So it's a pretty important part, even though it's long.
Yeah, and that will definitely play a part in making the strategy for your bot. That goes for FRC as well. All right. Now let's go into sub teams. Beautiful pictures that I obtained from Google. Um, so on the FTC team on infernobots, there are three sub teams: mechanical, BAM, software. Raj, am I missing any there? That would be really sad if I am.
You know, you
Yes.
you got it. You got it.
Okay. I will ask Raj to explain each because I'm honestly not too familiar with each of them. So, Raj, take it away.
Yeah, so I guess starting off with mechanical, um, their job is to design the robot as well as like build it. So actually, um, kind of circling back, everyone on the team does provide input into the design, but mechanical's main job is to make that using CAD, which you will learn, as well as building it and fixing things that go wrong. Software is pretty self-explanatory, programming the robot to make it function at our competition. And BAM, actually, an interesting part of robotics that not many people think about. Their job is to work on the portfolio as well as our outreach so we can win awards, which actually help us progress in competitions as well.
Raj, can you expand on the portfolio? Like, what is it?
Yes. Yeah, so the portfolio is something that you submit to judges at a competition, and it contains information regarding what outreach you did, which is basically where you like connect with your community about like STEM and robotics. And it also contains information about your robot itself and what design process that you went through. And there are various awards targeted to specific parts about your portfolio which you can win. And the Inspire, which is kind of like a all-rounder award, actually helps you progress to next levels in the competitions.
Yeah, so in the robotics competitions in all three, there's actually a robot component of it and a non-robot component of it. So that's why business BAM also stands for business and media, by the way, or marketing, business and marketing. I keep getting mixed up, but um, yeah, there's a non-robot side and a robot side of the competition. So just keep that in mind. Um, and then, since you are mechanical, yes, you will have to learn CAD, which stands for computer aided design, or as many of you know it, 3D modeling. Um, this is what these videos will cover later on in the future, and we will actually start that with the next video. So, yeah. And all right, moving on. So, here is a very, very basic timeline for FTC. I don't know if this is accurate. Raj, you can confirm.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate, I would say. So, at the start, you got your kickoff, you do your brainstorming, make the robot, you attend your first competition. That's where everything breaks, and you got to figure out how to fix it. And as it goes on, you make iterations to your robot, and you attend more qualifier competitions. Typically, we attend two as a team, but you can go up to three. And if you either win the event or win the Inspire Award at your qualifier, you can promote to the state level competition. But for us, we have NorCal regionals because California is big. And through that, you would uh, face against other teams who have promoted in a similar fashion. And if you're able to perform better over there, then you can go to the world championships and maybe even win. Who knows?
Yeah. And I don't think Raj, I don't think any FTC team went to champs, right?
Yeah, yeah. None of the teams have been, but last season in NorCal Championships, which is I guess our version of states, we were fourth within our division as alliance captains at playoffs.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Um, but yeah, I know this is probably went by way too quickly to understand. But it was intended more as an intro and to at least get you start thinking about what first robotics is and what you're actually getting yourself into. One thing I will promise, and I think Raj can also promise, is that it will be heaps of fun. You will create so many memories with so many people. You will meet so many new people, so many new like creative robots, creative ideas. It will be one of the best times and best experiences that you will ever have in your high school career. Yeah, Raj,
Yeah,
anything else?
for real. Like, yeah, I mean, first is not just for high school; it's for life.
That is a bar, and I think we will end it on that bar. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll get back to you on the
Yeah.
next video.